George Springer does it again, this time for the Toronto Blue Jays, leading the way in Game 7 of the ALCS. In this one, we had George Kirby with a 7 ERA coming in the postseason versus Shane Bieber with a 4.15 ERA coming in. Top of the first inning, Julio Rodriguez leads off with a double, followed by a Cal Raleigh strikeout, and then Josh Naylor gets the Mariners on the board early with an RBI single, 1-0 Mariners. Polanco grounds into a 5-3 double play. Naylor kind of jumps up and gets hit by the throw. It seemed like he was intentionally trying to get hit by the ball, and when you do that, you're out. So, end of the top of the first, 1-0 Mariners. Bottom of the first inning, George Springer leads off with a walk. Nathan Lucas flies out. Vlad Guerrero Jr. singles. Alejandro Kirk strikes out. And Dalton Varsho comes up big, an RBI single, and that's going to tie the game at 1. Ernie Clement lines out, but at the end of 1, scores 1-1. Top of the second, Randy Rosarena and Eugenio Suarez lead things off with back-to-back singles. So 2 on, nobody out for the Mariners. J.P. Crawford's going to sacrifice bunt them over, so it's 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. And Leo Rivas, a guy who's been anti-strikeout, really. He's been able to put the ball in play, strikes out. And then Victor Robles grounds out to the pitcher, ending the threats. No runs scored for the Mariners. Bottom of the second inning, Barger grounds out. Connor Falefa lines out. Andres Jimenez singles, and then George Springer grounds out. Top of the third, who else? Julio Rodriguez, a solo home run, giving the Mariners another 2-1 lead. It's his 4th of the playoffs, and that's the kind of guy that you want to be performing for you in the postseason, the face of your franchise, and he comes through again. He's been fantastic this series. Cal Raleigh will ground out. Josh Naylor lines out. Polanco will single, but then Randy Rosarena strikes out. Mariners lead 2-1. Bottom of the third inning, Nathan Lucas strikes out. Vlad Guerrero Jr. flies out, and Alejandro Kirk lines out. 1-2-3 inning for the Blue Jays. Top of the fourth, Suarez starts things off by striking out. J.P. Crawford with a double. He's been pretty silent this series and this postseason, so good to see him get something going in this one, giving the Mariners a chance. Rivas is going to strike out again, not able to get the ball in play. Victor Robles walks, and that ends the day for Bieber in the 4th. He goes 3 2/3 innings. Louis Varland will come in against Julio Rodriguez. Of course, you're going to want to get a new pitcher against a guy like J-Rod, and he gets on the ground out. So no damage done. 2-1 is the score still. Bottom of the 4th, Varsho strikes out. Clement flies out. Barger singles, and then Kiner Falefa grounds into a fielder's choice. Top of the 5th, Cal Raleigh, the big dumper, of course. Solo home run, his 5th of the postseason and 65th this year. A fantastic season in 2025 for Cal Raleigh, who may find himself as the MVP at the end of this season. Josh Naylor lines out. Polanco grounds out, and Randy flies out. But it is 3-1 Mariners. Bottom of the 5th, Brian Wu comes in for George Kirby. Kirby was very solid in this one, made up for his last couple outings, and kept the Mariners in this one, only giving up the 1 run to the Blue Jays. Wu, he walks Jimenez, gets Springer to strike out, and then Nathan Lucas grounds into a 6-3 double play. Top of the 6th, Sir Anthony Dominguez comes in for the Blue Jays. He'll get Suarez to fly out, Crawford to ground out, and Rivas to pop out. Bottom of the 6th, Wu's still in the game. Vlad strikes out, Kirk singles, Varsho lines out, and Clement grounds into a fielder's choice, ending the 6th inning. It is the 7th inning, and the Blue Jays got to get something going if they want a chance to make it to the World Series. They bring in Kevin Gausman. Today was supposed to be his bullpen day, so serves that you want to have your best pitcher in wherever you can. So why not bring in your probably your top starter in the 7th inning of Game 7? He will walk Victor Robles, and then Julio Rodriguez grounds into a 6-4-3 double play. So it's 2 outs. They'll intentionally walk Cal Raleigh. Probably a good idea. And then Josh Naylor walks, 2 on, 2 out, and Jorge Polanco grounds out. So moving on to the bottom of the 7th inning, Wu is still on the mound. Barger walks, Kiner Falefa singles, and then Andres Jimenez sacrifices them over to 2nd and 3rd. Runners on 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. Edward Bizzardo comes in for the Mariners, and George Springer, with the swing of his Blue Jay career, a swing for the whole entire country of Canada, a 3-run home run, his 4th of the postseason, and 23rd in his playoff career, 4th all-time on the list there, gives the Blue Jays a 4-3 lead, and just like that, there's 6 outs left in the Seattle Mariners season. Nathan Lucas follows that up with a single. Vlad Guerrero Jr. lines out on like a 113-mile-an-hour line out, and Alejandro Kirk will strike out looking. Top of the 8th. I thought this was interesting. Chris Bassett comes in for the Blue Jays, but he does his job. Clearly, this is why I'm not a Major League Baseball manager. Randy Arozarena grounds out, Eugenio Suarez strikes out looking, and J.P. Crawford grounds out. 3 more outs in the Mariners season. Bottom of the 8th, Andres Munoz comes in now. Quite frankly, maybe he should have come in instead of Bizzardo in the bottom of the 7th. It's the biggest moment in the game, in the biggest game of the season. You want your very best arm in that moment. Obviously, hindsight's going to be 20/20, but Munoz does come in the 8th. Varsho and Clement will both single, so 2 on, nobody out. Barger hits a screaming line drive right at Josh Naylor and turns into a double play. He catches it, tags first base, so 2 outs now, runner on second base, and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa will ground out. Jeff Hoffman will come in for the Blue Jays, looking to send them to the World Series. He faces Rivas, strikes him out. He faces Dominic Canzone, strikes him out, both on what would have been ball 4. And Julio Rodriguez, looking to tie the game clearly, swings at a couple more balls, but Jeff Hoffman strikes out the side, sending the Blue Jays to the World Series for the first time since 1993. Final score in this one, 4-3. The Mariners, the 3 runs on 8 hits, no errors, 7 left on base. The Blue Jays, 4 runs, 10 hits, no errors, and 7 left on base. Kevin Gausman gets the win. It's his 2nd of the playoffs. He's now 2-1. Edward Bizzardo does get the loss with that home run from George Springer, and Jeff Hoffman gets his 2nd save of the playoffs. The player of the game, of course, is going to go to George Springer. 1 for 3, but with the go-ahead 3-run home run that basically sends the Blue Jays to the World Series. My game notes, Josh Naylor had that RBI in the 1st inning, gave the Mariners that early lead. Varsho tied it with an RBI single in the 2nd. Julio Rodriguez with that solo home run, the go-ahead solo home run. Cal Raleigh, that solo home run in the his 5th of the postseason, and 65th this season, as I mentioned before. But it is the most ever in the American League when you combine the regular season and the postseason. 65 home runs. The record used to belong to Aaron Judge with 64. Say what you want about the record. Obviously, regular season is what matters for record book keeping, but 65 in the entire season is fantastic. Then George Springer's game-winning 3-run home run coming in the 7th inning. His 23rd, which is career for his postseason career, tied 4th now all-time in postseason history. So fantastic in the playoffs for George Springer. And finally, of course, Jeff Hoffman striking out the side to earn the save and send the Blue Jays to the World Series. ALCS MVP is going to Vlad Guerrero Jr. He batted .409 this series with 3 bombs, 3 doubles, and 3 RBIs. Led the way for the Blue Jays. Game 1, it's going to be Friday, October 24th in Toronto. Canada gets another World Series for the first time in 32 years. Looking forward to that one. Let me know in the comments. Blue Jays fans and Canada as a country, congratulations, you're going back to the World Series. Mariners fans, an absolutely incredible season for you guys. I don't think you guys are going anywhere. Keep adding more bats, and I think you guys are right back here next season. This team is looking like it's going to be a long stretch of success for the Mariners. So, thanks so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button if you like this video. Otherwise, we will see you this weekend for the World Series.